Picture this. You've just finished typing up a massive, high-stakes email to a major customer. You do a quick skim, hit send, and lean back in your chair, right? But literally seconds later, your eyes jump to a glaring critical error in the draft you just fired off. You've just sent completely incorrect, sensitive information right to their inbox.
This stomach drop moment. We have all been there. It's that exact, terrifying second when the visceral panic just sets in. Your heart starts racing, your hands might get a little clammy, and you feel that unmistakable, sudden stomach drop. Important email containing incorrect information to a customer. Just seeing those words is a high-stress workplace scenario that instantly triggers our fight-or-flight response. Your brain immediately perceives this as a major threat to your status, your competence, and maybe even your job security. The anxiety is palpable, and honestly, in that heightened emotional state, our judgment can easily become clouded.
Maybe nobody will notice. Versus professional reality, it must be addressed. When that fight or flight kicks in, our absolute first human urge is often just to hide. The panic instinct whispers, maybe nobody will notice. Maybe if I just shut my laptop, it'll all disappear. But the professional reality demands the exact opposite. It absolutely must be addressed. Hoping an error miraculously goes unnoticed is a surefire way to turn a simple mistake into a massive career-damaging crisis. Because let's face it, the longer a mistake lives in the dark, the more dangerous it becomes.
So, what should you do in the first few minutes after realizing you made a mistake? This brings us to a really critical crossroad. Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack a highly structured, logical, 5-step repair framework designed to get you through that initial surge of panic and out the other side as a stronger, more capable professional. Step 1. Admit it quickly. This first step is all about speed and transparency. The absolute hardest part of making a mistake is often fighting that intense, deeply ingrained urge to sweep it under the rug. But you have to push past that fear. Action 1. Tell your manager or affected colleague immediately. Do not hide it. Why? Because concealing a mistake completely destroys trust, and trust is the absolute foundation of our professional relationships. If someone else discovers your error before you report it, your credibility takes a massive hit. A quick, unprompted admission not only preserves your integrity, but it actually allows the entire team to mount a faster, way more effective response to the problem before it snowballs. Step 2. Take total responsibility. Once the mistake is out in the open, we move right here. You need to take total responsibility. And this means zero excuses. It means not blaming some confusing software, a distracted coworker, or the fact that you were just rushing on a Friday afternoon. True accountability means standing tall, owning the outcome, and completely resisting the urge to pass the buck. I sent the wrong version. That was my mistake. This crucial mindset shift is perfectly captured in this one simple phrase. It's incredibly disarming, actually. When you take direct, undeniable ownership of your actions without pointing fingers, you instantly diffuse other people's frustration. They literally don't have to waste their energy convincing you that you messed up. And that means everyone involved can immediately bypass the blame game and pivot directly toward finding an actual solution. Step 3. Limit the damage. Now that the error is clear, Step 3 shifts our focus from the past error directly into present damage control. The mistake is already made, right? You can't unsend the email or turn back the clock. But what can you actively do right now? Action 3. Focus immediately on what can still be corrected. Contact the customer with the corrected information before they act on it. So let's go back to our employee from the opening story. Instead of sitting at their desk hyperventilating, they can actively step in to stop the bleeding. They can instantly contact that customer with a follow-up containing the corrected information, ideally before the customer even has a chance to read or act on the bad data. Mitigating the fallout in real time rather than just waiting for instructions is the hallmark of a true professional. Step 4. Understand why it happened. Once the immediate fire is put out, the adrenaline starts to fade. And this is where Step 4 comes in. You need to shift your mindset entirely away from the emotional embarrassment of the mistake and move toward a cold, logical analysis of your underlying process. Bad process: adding email recipients before finishing the draft, versus improved process: adding recipients only after the email is complete. Take our email scenario. A bad process is adding email recipients before finishing the draft. That is just a recipe for accidentally hitting send too early. The improved process: make a hard rule to add recipients only after the email is 100% complete and proofread. Analyzing the mechanics of a mistake helps us build a completely foolproof system moving forward. You see, you're not criticizing yourself as an employee. You're simply identifying and fixing a faulty workflow so that relying on mere willpower is no longer necessary. Step 5. Learn and prevent. Which leads us directly into step 5. This is the mindset shift that transforms a failure from a liability into a highly valuable asset. Mistakes shouldn't be framed as character flaws or, proof that you aren't equipped for your job. Instead, view them as essential feedback and vital stepping stones to actually mastering your role.
Mistake, admit, fix, learn, prevent. When we put it all together, the complete recovery journey is really clear. You make the mistake, you admit it quickly, you fix the immediate damage, you analyze exactly why it happened, and finally, you adapt your systems to prevent it. That final step, prevention, is the ultimate goal of this entire framework. It's how you ensure that the tuition you paid by making the error actually buys you a lasting, tangible improvement.
The true goal. Now, let's bring this explainer full circle and check back in on our employee from the beginning. They've just gone through this exact sequence.
The employee acts quickly, corrects the error, and improves their process. Because they acted quickly, corrected the error, and improved their process, they didn't ruin their career. Far from it. In fact, by not hiding the error and instead demonstrating extreme accountability and a proactive attitude, they likely earned even more respect from their manager and their client. They took a highly negative situation and used it to actively build their professional reputation and tighten up their workflow.
The goal isn't never making a mistake. The goal is not making the same mistake twice, which leaves us with this final empowering thought to carry forward. We are all going to stumble in our careers. It's just a fact. But if you can use this framework to bounce back, own your actions, and continuously adapt your systems, your mistakes will simply become the blueprint for your future success. So, how will you handle your next workplace hurdle?